What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bananas Unpeeled. We are live underneath the beautiful Grayson Stadium, historic Grayson Stadium. We are live on Facebook. We are recorded on YouTube. We are recorded on Apple and Spotify. It is July.
Yes, it is.
We have made it to July. We've made it through the first half of the season. And you know what that means, Jesse? When we make it through the first half of the season, we have something to celebrate.
Every year we end up celebrating this.
We found out on Saturday night after a victory in Lexington County that we are going to the playoffs.
First half champions again.
Back-to-back playoffs.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Back-to-back first half champions. 4 straight playoff appearances. That is about all the baseball we are going to talk about today.
I'd like to talk more baseball.
We're going to talk more baseball.
Yes.
This episode, we are going to go behind the scenes. We've got 3 amazing, incredible, beautiful players. They do play baseball. They have other abilities that we're going to get into, musical abilities, gymnastic abilities. Looks,
we do it.
Flavors,
yes,
things like that.
All of the above.
We'll get into some of that, and we are going to talk about baseball because Banana Nation is getting an extra game. We have a home playoff game in Savannah, Sunday, August 4th. It is going to be pure electricity as it was last year. What are you most excited about?
I mean, I remember last year, obviously, that first home playoff game. Now, we wiped out the Bacon. I don't know, we scored like 15 runs.
100-0.
So it wasn't even really a real game. But the next game, that Tuesday against High Point,
They were good.
They brought the stud pitcher from, we didn't know who he was. He came in and dominated.
And they had those the two hitters.
Guys hit all the home runs.
3 or 4 guys just bombed.
This is a lot of baseball, but I remember vividly, in the 8th inning, we were down by a couple runs. We got a guy on base, and you couldn't even hear anything in the stadium. Yes. The place was entire stadium standing up, and I will say right now, the crowd this year and the fans aren't even close to the way they were last year.
We don't care about baseball.
No, but I'm talking about the fans.
No, the fans.
The circus leads the baseball. The baseball leads the circus. But hear me out.
We don't care about baseball.
Let's talk about Saturday night. Actually, let's talk about Friday night, because Saturday night we didn't see it in Lexington County. No. Even though one of the people coming on the show kicked off the game with a home run, which is pretty amazing. But Friday night, the crowd was unbelievable.
Yes.
I literally standing and going nuts for like inning after inning. I mean, at college summer baseball, I mean, you don't even see that in the pros because they're like eating food and they're like talking.
Heck no, not in the regular season, not at all.
No, in the playoffs. Remember, tell what they did in the playoffs. They make you do.
Yes,
tell that again.
I told this story before, and it is so bizarre. So I went to the 2014 World Series in Kansas City. Yep. Went to Game 6 and Game 7.
Yes.
And if you've ever watched baseball, really any sporting event on TV, the pregame stuff is all scripted by the TV people. So they go live. And of course, an MLB playoff game starts at 11 o'clock at night. But anyways, at 6 o'clock, they want to do a pan of the stadium, and as fans are coming in, so they can intro the game.
With the towels and stuff.
With the towels going on. So everyone's sitting there. It's dead silence. There might be 10,000 people in the crowd, 15,000 people in the crowd. It's about half full. And then someone will come on the screen and say, all right, fans, we're about to go live on TV or we're about to record an intro for TV. We need everyone to stand up and start cheering. And so
fake.
They count it down. 3, 2, 1. Everyone's standing up. Yeah! All right, we're done. And everyone sits back down. And that's the recording you see when they go live on Fox right before the game.
That is unbelievably fake, and you don't have to do that with our fans.
Not at all.
Literally in the 8th inning, in a game in June, they're going nuts and standing. And what I love is you see the players, they're all lifting up their chairs. They're going up like this. And literally the crowd, they're feeding off each other.
Yes.
And then let's also talk about the shark that's taken off.
Yes. So there's 2 things. There's I think it's maybe Baucom's intro song.
Yeah. Well, he got rid of that song because he was in a slump.
Whatever. Well,
it was great for a week.
That was great for the fans. They were fist pumping. But then every time we steal a base, Baby Shark comes on. And then now the whole crowd responds to the players in the dugout.
And just going nuts.
Going absolutely nuts.
And we added, again, that walk-off game, which was amazing. We added the rally shark in the end of the 8th.
I wasn't there for that. Well,
you missed that. We dressed up Will in the shark costume, and he ran through the stadium, which made 0 sense. I don't know why the Bananas would ever have a rally shark, but it worked. The rally shark is coming back this week as well.
Yeah, so I mean, what it shows is that, again, nobody cares about baseball around here. It's all circus. It's all fun and games.
That's not true, Jared.
No, that's what everyone says, right? We don't.
Oh yeah, we don't care about the baseball.
Don't care about the baseball. Don't care about. But we are going to the playoffs.
We're winning again.
I did this because I didn't want to.
You didn't want to hit the table, but yeah, it's good. Can we let's bring these people on.
No. There's another story that happened Friday night, Emily got to go on the field.
Yes,
and
special.
we had a really, really special moment.
Yes.
Can you share what happened Friday night? We had a really amazing celebration for a true hero and a Bananas fan.
Well, we all have it from different perspectives, and I remember on the field doing the show, and I saw all this medical team up in the metal bleachers. This was about a week ago. And I didn't know what happened, but then all of a sudden I came into the office for a second to grab a water, and I see Emily just bawling her eyes out. And I'm like, what did I do? As obviously it's my wife. If she's crying, it's something I did usually. It was not the case. And obviously I found out the story about a man had a heart attack and he flatlined and had no pulse. But a fan who was there at the game enjoying themselves rushed over, and a few other people from the stands rushed over, resuscitated him, and got him back alive. And not only that, he was joking and he was back, and he was amazing. I mean, it was a firefighter off duty, saved someone's life at our game. Yeah. And boy, talk about a special moment. And
double standing ovation on Friday night.
Double standing ovation. And so we brought him, recognized him. We gave him a special jersey, and the chief of the fire gave him I think a coin, a special coin. Mm-hmm. It was really special. And I made sure Emily did that in the field because she was a part of it. She was one of the first ones up there. Pretty special. So in the midst of a huge baseball game, there's also understanding what matters most, and really special to have fans be a part of that and make that happen.
I just thought that was a cool. It was a cool moment in the week. We had such a monster week. There was big games and fireworks games and sold out crowds, obviously, and the playoff appearance. Like that was still a really cool story.
Never forget it.
And we try to share with Bananas fans all the behind the scenes things that happen. And if you go to a game, you might never see that. And so it was cool to obviously be able to talk about it today, but also be able to talk about it Friday night and celebrate in front of fans.
100%.
And again, double standing ovation.
It's special.
Was like, we stopped the game momentarily for certain things, but as I was standing up there watching the crowd react, it was like just that pure appreciation for a person who they had no idea who it was. They had no idea the situation happened, but we were able to draw attention to it and kind of really celebrate that type of
And I think what I love is that we're all in this together. I've said this numerous, the fans are all in this together. The players are all in this together. There's no split between the players and the front office and the fans. You see so much of those balance, they're have these prices that are outrageous, or the players want this and the team wants this. We're all in this together, and ultimately saving a life is as big as it gets. So that was special. And then we also, I'll give a tease for the fans. There are some surprises coming up this week. Maybe Wednesday night, maybe Friday night. Just be ready.
What do you think?
I can't tell anybody what it's going to be a surprise.
You can't just say surprise.
No, I got to tell them surprise.
You need to. There's going to be too many rumors starting now.
Well, there may be rumors, but just come and see. Well, this game's sold out. If you're coming, you'll see it.
July 3rd.
Yes.
I'll give you a hint. There's going to be fireworks.
You got that.
All right, so let's go ahead. And who are we going to bring on first? We got Gabe Howell, Jake Sullivan, and Jack Conlon are going to come hang out with us this afternoon. Who do you want to start with?
I think we bring the returning banana back himself, Jake Sullivan.
Jake Sullivan.
Yes, bring it on down. Bring it on down.
Florida.
Yes.
Come on over. Watch out for the inflatable horse.
Of course. Now let's get the headset on. I want to start this here. Everyone's telling me, Coach Tyler Gillum said he's DJ Sully.
Scoot over just a little bit.
He's DJ Sully. We got to know, you weren't DJ Sully last year, were you? What is this DJ Sully?
I don't know. I think I kind of acquired it last year.
Okay.
I don't know. Every time there was just any auxiliary cord or any speaker on in the locker room, everyone just gave me that opportunity to go in there and play anything I want on my phone.
What are you playing? What's your go-to? I need to if we're gonna have you might get hired from this Bananas Unpeeled.
All right.
What type of music would you bring to the table?
It's all about the crowd. Whatever the crowd's feeling, it's really a feel thing. Honestly, you have to be able to tell what people want just by expressions and how they react.
And you can tell the energy. So do you start stuff pregame versus postgame? I mean, give us. We'll ask these guys. We'll find out the truth. Give me a little bit.
All right, so pregame, you got to have something that gets the heart rate going a little bit. Okay. Maybe some EDM or some
Ooh. What about Kygo?
Some Kygo, yeah. I could throw some Kygo in there sometimes.
Good.
Yeah. And then post game is more of a it's partially kind of like a celebration, but also we have a few songs that we play just as our win songs.
What are those win songs? I think the fans need to know. Are they inappropriate? They're laughing over here.
One of them is inappropriate, but two other ones we play some 50 Cent after we win. So
okay.
21 Questions and Many Men.
Okay.
Definitely some classics there.
Is 50 still alive?
I remember that epic first pitch he threw when the Mets, and he bounced it 6 times.
I thought he was off the planet after that.
But you do play baseball.
Yeah.
So you do music, but you also play baseball. Mm-hmm. Give us a little about your baseball background.
Well, I started playing when I was 3 years old. My dad actually snuck me onto the t-ball field at 3 years old because you're not allowed to play until you're 5. So he took me to the local sporting goods store and he he bought me a little Reds uniform, and I went and played on my brother's team. And then ever since then, I played every year till now, and it's just been great ever since.
And you're in South Florida, so what's going on down there? Why South Florida? What's kind of your college life like?
Yeah, well, I went to Dallas Baptist out of high school.
Right.
Okay.
And then
Great program.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Jamison
Hannah, second round pick.
Yeah, I love that guy. Great dude. Baseball was really good over there, but I wanted to be closer to home. My mom got sick. I wanted to be closer to her. So, and USF is like 15 minutes from my house. So I decided to transfer there, but I had to sit out my first year there.
Yes.
Because D1 to D1, you have to.
So you're like 30 now?
So yeah, I have a wife and 2 kids. No, but
6-year freshman.
But yeah, I did use my first year of eligibility last year, so I technically still have 3 more if I want them, which is pretty cool.
And now you play a bunch of positions.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you all over.
Yeah.
So I mean, you caught pretty much exclusively last year, but now you're all over the place. Tell us, what are you looking at? I mean, is there certain positions you're trying to get more work for college, or what's going on?
Really, just anywhere the team needs me is where I kind of try to be, and also for myself, anywhere that'll get me in the lineup. Honestly.
Yeah. So where have you played so far this year?
I've played third, first, and I've caught.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So all over the corners.
Third base at school.
What is the difference between last year and this year that you're seeing so far? I mean, we're still winning, which is amazing, but like differences in people, culture, environment. What's been that like?
Well, definitely. Our team this year, no offense on last year's team. Obviously, we were really good last year, but we have a more talented team this year for sure.
You would think so? I mean, last year we won almost 40 games, most wins in the league.
No, players-wise, we definitely have like a more talented team this year. I think so. And arms too. Our pitching staff is insanely good this year.
Yeah, we had 13 strikeouts the other night.
Yeah,
it was stats, baseball.
I was standing over first base just like with my glove on my head, just not.
What am I even doing?
Yeah.
Now you were obviously getting ready to host the All Star Showdown here. You were an All Star last year. And tell us about that experience and what advice you'd give to the guys that are going to be here this summer.
Yeah, just enjoy it. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people are going to ask you to do some stuff for them. Just enjoy it. It's a really fun time, especially here in Savannah. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing. So yeah, just enjoy every second of it.
Nice, excellent. So goals, you have how many more years of eligibility?
I have 3.
3 more years of eligibility. Yeah. Goal to play professional ball, goal to coach. What do you think? I mean, obviously you have baseball. Your dad's started you at 3, and he's involved. Your dad, tell us a little bit about your dad and his role.
Yeah, so he runs the Florida Baseball Ranch.
Yes.
It's down over on County Line Road between Lakeland and Plant City.
Right. Yeah.
And it's been awesome down there. He works with a lot of minor league guys.
Ching-Meng
Wong.
Yes.
He came down and he trained there. Yeah. They actually made a movie.
Netflix. I watched it.
Yeah. They made a movie and he was in it. My dad said he went to the premiere in New York City and he saw his face there on the big screen. He said he couldn't believe it. He just saw himself there.
Really cool.
But yeah, it was really awesome. But yeah, he's doing well down there. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Good. Really. So what about your goals?
Me personally, if pro ball happens, it happens. I don't want to, sell out to it because you never know what's going to happen. But I like to work for it. I'm like, when I work hard, I work for it. So it's not like, my one main goal. Cool. But if it happens, it happens.
Cool. All right, our stats guy, Brad, producer Brad off screen, he notes that you are tied for the most sack flies in the Coastal Plain League, which is probably the most bizarre statistic you could ever come up with. So clearly, I'm sure you have a huge sacrifice fly strategy that no other player in the league has.
Tell us about it. I mean, a huge accomplishment. I'm sure you've been tweeting that recently.
A lot of guys are wanting to know what's the sacrifice fly strategy.
Tell us about it.
I love sack flies. I think it's
who doesn't?
Big sack fly guy.
It's a huge sack fly guy. It's one of my favorite things to do on a baseball field.
So you just dip and drive?
It's like here. My thought process is hey, there's a guy on third, less than 2 outs. You're telling me that all I got to do is fly out.
Yeah.
That's all I got to do. Get out.
So you're literally like, how can I get out right here?
Yeah. It's free. It's free. It's right there.
No wonder why he's leading the league. This is amazing.
I mean, if you're not, the fans are. They gotta be loving that. So,
yeah.
It's outstanding.
Jake, it's been a pleasure. Anything, what have you enjoyed the most? We'll get to these next guys. What have you enjoyed the most the last 2 years?
Definitely the relationships that I've made with the teammates that I've had here. It's for some reason it's just like everyone comes together so quick here, and I think it's the environment and the atmosphere that this place brings. It just forces you to come together as a team.
Yeah. What do you think? Chance to dogpile this year?
Oh yeah. Big chance to dogpile this year.
I love it.
Feel good about it.
Jake, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you for being on.
Let's go, man. Thank you so much.
Good stuff,
Have fun
Jake.
tonight.
I appreciate it.
All right. bring on the next.
All right, who do you want?
I want to go with Gabe. We have a former All-Star last year, bringing on a new All-Star this year.
Bring him up.
Gabe Howell, welcome to the show.
Let's go.
Now, Gabe's become a quiet fan favorite this year.
How do you believe that?
Well, because I know I walk around the stadium and they say, this guy's amazing. They love watching. Now, he'll never do anything too fanfare except the time you did the backflip. Let's talk about that.
Are you our backflip guy?
Yeah. He's only done it once because he almost pulled his hamstring.
Well, I heard that someone had done a backflip, but I didn't know who it was.
Let's talk about this.
Well,
welcome to the show.
That is bold.
Yes.
Well, Jesse just asked me if I could do a backflip, and I said yeah.
And so that's how he came out of the field.
Just raw? Yeah. Like, I'm just going to tuck and go?
Right. It's probably my 5th time doing it.
Yeah. Okay. Almost hurt himself. And now the challenge is every game I've asked you.
Yeah, you have.
Can you do the backflip? And you say next game.
So scared of breaking my neck.
Yeah. You haven't hurt yourself doing it, other than a little bit.
Well, second time I did it, I kind of landed on my head. But
all right. That scares me. Let's not talk about that. Moving on. All right, you may not do a backflip again, but first summer here, you've had an amazing summer. We'll get back to the past, but a little bit. Yeah. Talk about your summer here. I mean, you're like leading the league in triples. You had another home run on a big night.
No, don't get to that yet.
The baseball?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
all right, sorry.
Leading the league in triples. Those are good stats. We need to get his strategy and
his
triple strategy.
Triple strategy. All right. Talk to us about the summer. How's it been?
It's been great, but to hit triples, you just gotta hit it and run as fast.
I mean, but there's got to be some strategy. I mean, you have to really time up the baseball to make sure it goes in the appropriate gap where the defenders are not going to be there. So you have to know that's a specific strategy that not a lot of people have.
You're losing it.
I mean, that triple strategy is
sorry about him. Let's get back to
you can't teach that. That's a natural talent.
He's had a tough morning. All right, let's talk about this summer. You come here. All right, you're at a small school, Bryan College. Right. You come here this summer. How has it been? I mean, obviously you've played tremendously, but let's talk about the experience.
Well, at my school, we probably get 100 fans at most.
Okay.
Coming here to the 4,000 plus fans, it was a little nerve wracking.
Were you nervous the first couple games?
Yeah.
Yeah. How is it? I mean, obviously your level. You had a huge year at Bryan College. I think you were Player of the Year, correct?
No, I was not.
All right. Well, I had you voted as Player of the Year.
You were Jesse's Player of the Year.
You were my Player of the Year. You had a great year, and you come here, and obviously your performance has continued. I mean, how playing in front of the fans? I mean, does it raise the performance?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Excellent. Now let's talk. All right, you got a crazy past.
Raw, I was going to say, you wanted to talk a little bit more about him being drafted originally.
Yeah, I mean, out of high school, drafted. Talk about. I mean, the only guy ever to play for the Bananas that played pro ball and then came here. Talk about that experience.
Well, it was great, but I got drafted out of high school and it didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
I ended up breaking my hand like 15 games in.
Yeah.
And then, just didn't work out. Then I had to go back to school.
So you got drafted by the Braves.
Right.
And where did you play?
GCL, the Gulf Coast League.
Gulf Coast League.
Down in Orlando,
and
Florida.
so you only played a short amount of games. And then that ended, and now you went back to college, and you said, I want to give this another shot.
Right.
So talk about, the feelings. You get the call on draft day.
Yeah.
All these guys hope for that.
Great.
Where were you?
I was in my bedroom, actually.
Really?
I didn't think it was going to happen for me, and I got the call, and I was just excited.
Did you get emotional?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then how much later did you sign?
The next day, actually.
Oh, wow. And then so that ended quickly, only a short part of the season.
Right.
And then you said, you know what, I'm going to come back and give it another shot. Tell me what went through you in your thought process there.
Well, I thought I was done playing baseball for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that you could actually go back to school and play. I didn't know that was a rule.
Only NAIA.
Yeah, only NAIA.
Yeah.
So I got a call from one of my old high school coaches. He's at an NAIA up in Tennessee, and just kind of hooked it up for me.
And you went there and had it. And so this was your first year this past year?
Yeah, this is my first year.
First year. And now you're an all-star and coming this weekend playing in front of 50, 60 scouts. How does it feel to have this other...
Maybe 50, maybe 100 plus.
Maybe be 100 plus. How do you feel now to get kind of this next shot, this next chance?
Oh, man, it feels great, man. I mean, just going to go out there and have fun and just, enjoy the moment.
Yeah. Now, you're a humble guy, all right? You're very humble. You're a reserved guy, all right? This group, there's a lot of guys that aren't like that, all right? We've seen guys, as you know, that dance, that get crazy. How has it been for you guys? It just goes about your business. I think I even said to you, if you had a home run, we need to get crazy. You're like, that's not the way I play. Talk to me about the balance between the craziness and then the way you play the game.
I'll leave the craziness to Alex Deegan and those guys, but
yeah,
I just like to play and enjoy the game. I mean,
yeah,
just not celebrate too much.
In the game that we had to win Saturday night, we had to win to make the playoffs. You lead off the game with a home run. All right, huge. You've been there all summer for us. How's it feel to be kind of a leader, just going about the business?
Feels good. You know, I'm glad I can be the guy that, you know, some of my teammates look for, or look for me to, you know, rise in certain occasions. You know, just do the best I can.
What are you looking forward to most the rest of the season?
Dog piling, of course.
You want a dog pile? Or would you do a backflip into the dog pile?
Yeah.
That sounds very dangerous.
100% how you get hurt.
Excellent.
We had one comment about doing backflips. Tris says, it only hurts for a long time. After that, it's okay. Which makes a lot of sense, I guess.
Gabe, it's been a pleasure. We heard about your story, getting that chance to play pro ball and now come back, and you even potentially talking to some teams, having that other shot. I think it's a great redemption story, and we're glad to be a small part of it.
I appreciate it.
So, rock on.
Thanks,
rock
Gabe.
on.
Appreciate it.
Have fun tonight.
All right.
All right, next up, new guy coming on board from
Sugarland, Texas.
Sugarland, Texas.
Going to Rice.
Is that where?
The Sugarland Skeeters.
Well, yeah. Isn't that where Roger Clemens?
Roger Clemens.
He did. I was at that game that he
threw, right?
That he threw.
That he threw.
How old were you?
13.
Wasn't he and his son?
They threw to his son
catching, right?
Yeah.
I think so. I vaguely remember, but it was pretty cool. I mean, just like Roger Clemens, pitching, seeing that, and still, throwing a splitter, fastball, curveball.
Oh, he's still doing his thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you were 13. You were probably throwing 90 miles an hour back then.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Maybe something like that.
All right, you're the newest guy on the block. You've heard everything. Mm-hmm. You just got here. Are you just overwhelmed, or are you like, man, I am ready to go?
No, it's pretty cool. At first, I was a little overwhelmed. I didn't really know. I looked into it. Seeing everything on the internet, it doesn't really prepare you for.
What did you see on the internet?
I saw you and then your suit, and I was like, I didn't know who you were at first, and I was like, okay, he's the owner. And then I saw it's like all the crowd was getting involved in everything, and the guys on the dugout and some other stuff, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be pretty fun and exciting.
Yeah. All right, so then what have you been doing before you came to Savannah? What's the college story and all that for people?
So my freshman year, I was at A&M. Actually roomed with one of the guys on the team, Dustin.
Yeah.
My roommate at A&M, and then I transferred to a junior college in Houston.
San Jack,
San Jack U. And it was great there, spending a year there. But I was actually in the hospital for the first semester.
Yeah, blood vessel. Yeah, what happened?
So I was playing summer ball last year, and then as soon as I got back, like late August, I just started feeling really bad and got like a really high fever, and I was spending like 4 weeks in the hospital and lost about 50, 60 pounds.
Good.
And then I got cleared to start pitching in March, actually, this past March, so a couple months ago.
And now coming back.
Now, so I've been pitching since then.
And you threw this spring?
I threw this spring, I threw this spring. I don't remember how.
Not many innings.
Yeah, not many.
Yeah.
So this summer for you is like, I'm back.
Yeah.
I need to get innings. I need to perform. So then next spring, it's like
you're ready to go.
Exactly. Yeah, and I feel good right now. My arm and body, I'm just happy and healthy. Happy that I'm healthy and be able to pitch.
Let's go back. So, Jared, I did his orientation last week. So first day came and spent about 30 minutes talking about the Fans First Way, and you told a little bit about your backstory. And high school, you were a top prospect.
Oh, yeah.
And so talk about your first games in high school. Did you start noticing scouts coming? Like what was it like?
So yeah, it was kind of my senior year. More and more scouts started to come.
How many per game were watching you?
Probably about like 20-ish per game. It was a lot, and I ended up getting drafted in the 4th round out of high school
by the Orioles. And were you expected to go in the top 5 rounds?
Kind of. It was just the draft was really weird, and I was just hoping to get my name called. And I was actually just got back from the gym. I literally walked through the door and
got the call.
Got the call. So it was pretty crazy.
Did you get emotional?
Yeah, I got a little emotional. I was with my family and my mom, and my dad. So it was pretty cool. But
and you in high school. I mean, you topped out at 97 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you were living low to mid 90s. You had 20 scouts at every game, and then you get the call. And then what happened?
I just couldn't come to an agreement. Just like a bunch of stuff happened, and I ended up just going to school and thought that was the best route for me.
Yeah.
And it's been a great few years. Especially playing at a few different colleges, and I'm excited to go play at Rice in the fall. It's going to be
great program.
It's going to be a great experience.
So you dealt with some adversity. Obviously, you were expected. You were said, I will play pro ball. You told the Orioles that you would sign, right? And then it didn't work out because of injury, some different challenges there. And then you deal with this blood issue this past. It's a lot of adversity, and now you're coming back. How do you feel?
I'm just happy that I'm healthy and being able to play baseball and just take care of business, and hopefully everything will work out, and just keep my head down, keep grinding.
Awesome. You came from the Cape. You just got back from the Cape. Came here. First outing, you're pitching Friday night.
That was pretty awesome. The crowd was electric.
You struck out the first 5 guys you faced. Unbelievable. Struck out 6 in the first 3 innings to close the game. You got the win. That must have been. How was the adrenaline?
There's a lot of adrenaline. Especially in just feeding off the crowd and all the hearing them, and just your heart rate's up. You're just trying to get everyone out, strike everyone out, and just a great feeling.
And you're pitching next this week, right?
Yes, sir. On Wednesday.
You're starting.
Yes.
It's gonna be electric again. It just gets more and more intense. I feel like as the season goes along, especially when we win the first half and they know we have playoffs coming, it's like it just gets more intense, and all of a sudden we get to like that last week in July, and all of a sudden it's August 4th playoff night, and these fans are just like going insane the entire game. It's nuts.
And in addition to that, obviously tremendous pitcher, but you have a man bun. Can you show that a little bit? Yeah, we got to show the fans a little bit of this man bun.
It's right here.
Okay.
All right, a little short.
Miniature.
Yeah, you're hiding it. And now you came out. Did you come out on the Segway on that first night, or you weren't ready for it?
No, I did come out in the Segway. I was a little timid.
Because have you ever ridden a Segway before?
I haven't.
So literally your first time riding a Segway was to take the mound in a game that we had to win to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, my mom took a video, and I thought I was going faster than I was, but I was definitely moving like probably a mile an hour. And then going over the lip and the infield, or from the outfield to the infield, I got stuck a little bit. I started going back.
Segway problems.
Yeah, and I had to lean forward. But I figured it out. I had to think on my feet, but it was all good.
What do you? Obviously, as a pitcher, we have dancing, we have ring dudes on the dugout. You've seen a little bit of this. Oh, yeah. Are you open to be a part of the show that we call the Bananas?
Yeah, so I think I'm ready. Just the first game, we're just kind of taking everything in, just seeing how it all was. But I think after my outing on Wednesday, I think.
If you pitch Wednesday, then you're primed for Friday night.
Yeah, and the fans like you can throw real well, and they'll love you. But if you start dancing and getting on the dugouts and passing out roses, you become a hero. And the question for you is, would you like to be a hero this summer?
I think I would like to be a hero.
Awesome. What else are you excited about for this summer?
Just getting to know the guys a little bit better and just winning some baseball games and having a good summer here in Georgia.
Well, we're glad to have you a part of it. Great story, and hopefully you get that other opportunity.
Yes.
And then never forget your time with the Bananas.
Big time. Big time. Thanks for hanging
Thanks
out
a lot,
with
Jack.
us.
Appreciate it, man.
Have fun tonight, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
We're meeting some guys. Hey, we're getting to know the guys.
It's nice to get to know some people.
Yes.
I think for our fans, it's like all these players come through over and over and over, but then they really start honing in on 8 or 10 guys that are here the whole summer. They perform, they dance, they're in the crowd, and then you get to the end of the season, it's like they really do remember those guys year after year after year. It's so cool.
Let's stay in touch. All these teams have big group chats. And you know what? Anything, whether it's business, whether it's sports, if you ask people what they love the most, it's always the people. It comes back to the people. And they'll say, I just want to be a part of these guys. I want to spend time with these guys. I want to dogpile with these guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it special, is that no one's out for their own interests. No one's out to try to get the best stats. They're in to do it together. How many summer teams really, their number one goal is to take care of the fans, have fun, and dogpile?
Well, no, because the original goal, really, for the most part, of this setup of summer collegiate baseball is come in, be an individual, get your individual stats, make the All-Star game, get seen, and go home. Get me. Let me get me.
Yes.
And really, I think Tyler has said, no, you're going to come in here and be a banana. And here's what it means, like you said, perform in these areas. And what we believe is that by doing that for the collective whole, the sum of the parts will really start showing
domino effect, yeah. And it's fun to watch. I'll tell you, this is a special group of guys. It was very bold for Jake to say this team's better than last year's team because last year's team, we had some unbelievable prospects. We won 39 games, most wins in the league. To say that means that he really believes in these guys.
Right.
And I think this second half could be a lot of fun. And in the All-Star coming up this weekend, we have 12 Bananas that are going to be performing in the All-Star Showdown. Fans are going to get a chance to see them, and it's going to be exciting.
Do you want to tease anything as we head into the All-Star Showdown? Or are you going to wait until next week?
Well, next week we actually have our luncheon. I don't know. We might have to go live from the luncheon. We'll have to figure out how we're going to do that.
Good point. We'll update you on that.
We'll update you on that.
Do you want to tease anything before we get it?
It's going to be the most electric home run derby ever done in sports.
Yes.
That's on Sunday night. The game's sold out.
Book it.
Book it. Then Monday is the semifinals and finals, 3-inning games with a potential showdown, one-on-one, pitcher versus hitter. It's unbelievable. There's still a few tickets left for Monday, but it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be fast-paced, just like the way baseball should be. And we got 80 of the top players in the country playing. So it's going to be a show.
Entertainment.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. We have no idea what's going to happen, but we know it's going to be exciting.
Literally, that's the theme of everything we do. We don't know what's going
No
on.
idea.
All right, so we have Wednesday night, we have Friday night, we have the showdown on Sunday and Monday. We'll see you next week.
Here it is.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out.